YouTube versus Twitch. How do they compare? You know, I've always kind of thought of YouTube and Twitch as like cousins on the internet. You've got these two massive platforms that just kind of dominate most of the video space around the internet. So why do they feel so different? Today I wanted to take kind of a deep dive into the little differences that you might not have even noticed between these two platforms, and just the general culture that surrounds both of them. Actually, you know, funny enough, I remember the very first time I heard about YouTube, and I remember the very first time I ever heard about Twitch. And in both cases, I really did not like them very much at the start. But I'll save that for the end of the video. First of all, what's it like getting started on YouTube or Twitch? Now in both cases, you know, starting from zero, just being a nobody, creating a new account is gonna be difficult, no matter what platform you're on. It does seem really difficult to grow from zero on YouTube, but I think it also seems just downright impossible to start from zero on Twitch. Because on YouTube, you can start uploading videos, like, you know, just keep throwing them out there, piling up your catalog, and as long as you're good enough with your thumbnails and your titles and your tags and all that stuff, then it might start getting recommended to people. And there have been a lot of channels that just start from zero, but the algorithm really likes their content, so it starts recommending it to more and more people. But Twitch, on the other hand, doesn't quite work the same way. Now, for the most part, what happens on Twitch is you pick what game you want to watch, and then it will sort the streams by most popular to least popular. So even if you're somebody who's like, man, I really want to start up a new stream, that means I gotta play the most popular games so that I can grab the widest audience. Well, except what really happens is that you start out 1,000 spots down the list, and basically no one will ever have a reason to see your stream or want to click on it. So basically, if you want to have a successful Twitch stream, you most likely have to start on YouTube or some other platform first. Now, I get there are a few exceptions out there. There are ways that some people can just get very lucky. Maybe they get propped up by somebody else, or maybe Twitch decides to recommend them. But for the most part, people who stream on Twitch kind of understand the whole grind of, you know, trying to grow. Next up, the difference in culture. Now this might sound a little bit strange, but I think that people who stream on Twitch are oftentimes a little bit more extroverted than people who upload on YouTube. And what it really comes down to is there's such a big difference between live streaming and recording. Because when it comes to recording videos, like for this video example, I might record myself talking for 30 or 40 minutes, and then after cutting out all of the blank space, or all the times I repeat myself, or all the times where I just stumbled over my words or couldn't get through a sentence, that 40 minutes of content will probably get shortened down into like less than 10 minutes. And so for YouTubers, you basically get to polish up your appearance as much as possible. You get to cut out any imperfections, and you only show people the very best of what you have to offer. Whereas live streaming, on the other hand, it's all you. It's all raw, there's very little editing, and you really have to keep up your personality or the character you're playing for the entirety of the stream, which I've noticed can be pretty exhausting. There have been times where I streamed for like 1 or 2 hours and my voice was just giving out because you don't realize how difficult it can be to just talk constantly. Especially if you have an audience that isn't super interactive, or maybe you just have no audience at all. Like you're constantly just having to keep talking, keep saying whatever is on your mind. And it's especially weird because it's quiet in the room. You're the only person talking. There's nobody else in the room here. I'm just talking to a camera right now. And when you're live streaming, you're basically having a conversation with yourself while maybe looking at chat or answering questions, trying to be interactive. But overall, it's hard to like keep up the energy for the entire live stream. So as far as creating content goes between YouTube and Twitch, I would say it usually takes more setup work to start a live stream because, you know, you've got to set up your cameras, you've got to make sure that everything's going to work properly during the live stream because that's not something you're going to want to have to fix while it's already going. Whereas with YouTube, it's just like, all right, just hit record and then we'll make it look good later. Now, of course, you can't bring up these platforms without mentioning the drama. There's lots of drama on both, but they also kind of interact differently. Whenever it comes to live streams, everything happens very much in real time, very quickly. You could even have 2 streams that are going on at the same time, and they're both throwing blows at each other in the moment. Whereas on YouTube, somebody will spend days, if not weeks, just putting together this big, long, elaborate video, doing lots of research, and then just throwing a massive punch at somebody else. And then that person has to watch that, and then they get to spend however much time they want, researching everything they want, writing up a whole script of what they want to respond with, putting a whole video together, editing it. So it's like every response might come back within a day. And I guess you could say it makes the drama a lot more sensationalized whenever it's on YouTube. Like, remember when we used to have the iDubbbz content cops? And when one of those videos dropped, like all of YouTube was talking about it. Like, so much work goes on behind the scenes that nobody ever really sees it coming, and then it just drops right in the middle of YouTube. Basically, the drama just comes in larger chunks rather than, regular conversations. So now let's move over to the viewer's perspective of all of these. I mean, if you're not somebody who wants to, put yourself out there, you just want to be the viewer of all of this, I mean, I completely understand. It can be a lot of work with very little payout. So if you're watching a Twitch streamer, you probably watch that person a lot. I mean, you basically get to know the person because a lot of streamers spend a ton of time streaming, sometimes 30, 40, even like 60 hours a week. And so if you're just sitting there, you're hanging out with them, you're typing in chat, maybe they'll respond to some of your messages every once in a while, but you basically feel like you're there with them, or like you feel like you're on a Skype call with them. And so the whole connection can seem very personal. Whereas on YouTube, I can record a long video and I can put it out there, and then there might be a few hundred comments, but it's not going to be like immediate feedback back and forth. And so while watching a live stream can feel like you're hanging out there with them, watching a YouTube video feels more like you're going to see their lecture or their movie that they just put out. And in a lot of ways, both figuratively and literally, YouTube can become just a highlight section of Twitch. Because like for me personally, I'm a big fan of Asmongold on Twitch, but I almost never actually go to Twitch to watch him. Mostly because I just don't feel like sitting there and watching one thing for 6 hours straight, and I'd rather just watch highlights later. Also, whenever it comes to the comment section versus the chat, I mean, I think in a lot of cases, when it comes to a Twitch chat, a lot of the people in the chat are not only interacting with the streamer, they're also interacting a lot with each other. And so when it comes to a lot of streamers, you have a lot of very tight-knit communities, where maybe you'll have 100 regular viewers as well as the streamer, and you all just kind of know each other, and it's basically like a very close friend group. Whereas on YouTube, most of the comments are directed straight for the person who uploaded the video. Of course you can reply to comments and all that, but it's pretty rare that people go into the comment section just to talk to other people in the comments. But moving on to the final part of this comparison, how well are these platforms managed? Now if I had to give YouTube a grade on how well it treats its creators and how transparent it is and how good their communication is, I would say they're right around maybe a D- or an F. And while I've never actually streamed on Twitch, from what I hear from a lot of Twitch streamers, it sounds like that's about an F to an F-. I mean, obviously most of this channel has been dedicated to teaching you how to go up against YouTube and all of their ridiculous rules that they don't even tell you about. They love to demonetize you, they love to add all of these restrictions and just outright delete videos sometimes. And they go along very vague rules, which sometimes only apply to some creators while not others. But then you have the Twitch side, which states very strict rules, but they only enforce it for certain people. You can tell there's a lot of very favorite people on Twitch that the management really just does not want to touch, and then other people that they have a vendetta against. I mean, I've heard tons of videos about Twitch hypocrisy, and you guys probably all have too, and it just seems like they love banning people whenever they get the chance. Whereas on YouTube, although they will demonetize you, they might hide your videos or shadow ban you, it's very rare that a channel actually gets banned. And when it actually does, a lot of the YouTube community knows about it, and they really make a fuss about it too. I mean, what's really crazy to think about with YouTube is that technically they do allow a lot of extremely R-rated content. It just gets put behind an age restriction. But with all of that, just to recap, YouTube is usually quality over quantity. Twitch usually has a lot more quantity, but it's not quite as polished. But Twitch usually has much tighter communities, but it's also much harder to start from zero. YouTube does have more potential for new people to start up and make a lot of money. And one other thing I forgot to mention is that, at least when you're live streaming, you don't usually have to worry about getting copyright striked. Like as a YouTuber, you're like, whoa, this is just so mind-boggling. You can just listen to music without getting thrown in jail. But that's how I would generally compare the two massive video platform cousins that dominate the internet. And I guess I'll finish with how I first heard of both of the platforms. So back in 2006, I heard about YouTube for the first time. I was playing a lot of World of Warcraft at the time, and my cousin told me that I could watch the South Park World of Warcraft episode on a website called YouTube. Now back then, you couldn't upload videos over 10 minutes long, which is super ironic because today almost every video is over 10 minutes long. But anyway, it was broken up into 3 parts. Of course, it was 2006, so the internet was horrible. And I managed to watch the full episode. Then come maybe a few months or a year later, my dad was like, have you ever heard of YouTube? And I was like, yeah, I think I've used it once. He's like, well, Google just bought it for $1 billion. I'm like, what? I had seen so little of it that hearing such a massive story about it just kind of blew my mind. But anyway, as time went on, I was always using Google Video, Like, before YouTube was a thing, you know, you search something on Google, you know, you have the web searches, and then like the image results and the shopping results and all that stuff. Like, for a while, if you clicked on the videos tab, there was a lot of things just uploaded directly onto Google. It was just Google videos, like that was the video platform. And then over time you would see a lot more results that would link you directly into YouTube. And I was like, no, this is so stupid. Stop making me go to youtube.com. I'd rather watch it on the Google video player. And then over time, more and more of it just kept getting transferred over until there was nothing left on Google Video, and it was, you had to watch everything on YouTube. And then I was sad I had to use this stupid website. But to be fair, if you've actually seen the YouTube from 2006, it was not as pretty as it is today. But then fast forward to about 2010, so I was playing a lot of StarCraft 2, and there was a lot of streams that would go on for StarCraft 2, so it started off on a website called Ustream, and so I would watch everything on Ustream for a while. And then all of the streamers were like, all right, we're moving to Justin TV. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I guess I'll follow you along to whatever this streaming site is. And then like shortly after that, it's like, all right, now we're moving to Twitch TV. I'm like, what the heck? Why do you keep changing sites? I don't want to use this stupid twitch.tv. Like, what is this crap? It's probably not going to go anywhere. I mean, I guess what it really all comes down to is once you get really used to a platform, you're always going to hate trying to transition to something different. But that's all for now, and like I said, I just recorded for about 32 minutes, so we'll see how short this video ends up being.